Hi, so today we're going to be wrapping the upper extremity. Before beginning your wrapping, you want to make sure that your client's arm is clean, that you have applied a low pH lotion. Before wrapping, we're going to go ahead and put a piece of stockinette on. This stockinette's a bit large for her arm, but it's the best we can do today. So like in all your clinics, we'll just do the best with what we have. So you go ahead and put your stockinette on. And then we're going to start by wrapping the fingers. All right, we'll start with anchoring at the wrist. I'm going to anchor at the wrist and I'm going to go towards the thumb. You go all the way down to the nail bed and then you wrap around, going up. Then you'll anchor again at the wrist, go all the way down to the nail bed. I like to circle about 3 times. You want to make sure you get all of her finger. Anchor around the wrist, down to the nail bed. I usually go around 3 times each finger, depending on the length of your client's fingers, making sure that there's no wrinkles in there. Down to the nail bed, all the way back up. Okay. And then last one, the pinky. All the way back up. So you never want to end on the finger. So that one looks like it's okay right there. I'm just gonna tuck it back in, but if it had ended on the finger, then I wouldn't wrap that finger right now. I would start with another roll and wrap the little finger. All right, so when you're done wrapping the finger, I want you to have your client go ahead and make a fist, and you can see that there's lots of skin showing. So I'm going to use a second roll. I'm going to go from the opposite direction that I started with. Last time I started towards the thumbs, but this time I'm going to start towards the ulnar side, and I'm going to go and address all those skin openings. I call this the awareness sign, but what that really means is you're just going back and around the fingers. Again, anchoring at the wrist in between. All right. Okay, go ahead and make another fist for me so we don't have any more skin openings there. So now I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna do a little herringbone pattern. There's not much compression in this white gauze, so I'm just gonna be careful not to create a tourniquet effect by going straight across. Okay. So now you can see the palm is open. You should be able to put one finger down in there. And that's how you know that you've done that finger wrap correctly. All right, so go ahead and relax that hand. I'm gonna put your finger through here. We're gonna put cotton all the way up her arm, so you're trying to get that arm to be a cylinder as much as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and start all the way up. This cotton as well as the stockinette will help protect the skin and help wick away moisture. When I get to the elbow, I make an accordion fold, and that's just going to give a little bit more protection to the antecubital fossa. I'm going to go all the way up. When you wrap, you'll go all the way up to the top, so you want to make sure that you get up here as high as possible. All right, so now I'm going to take this extra stockinette, I'm gonna fold it back. We're gonna be really, this first couple bandages focused on these lymphatic lakes, which swell quite a bit. I'm gonna take my 6-inch and I'm gonna start this time wrapping towards the thumb. I'm gonna create an anchor around her wrist. Then each time I go through the thumb, I'm gonna fold it over, but each time you'll see that I fold it a different way. So I'm gonna anchor it again. Then the last time I folded it this way, so this time I'm gonna fold it this way. Go through her thumb, anchor again. And you'll notice that I'm never anchoring in the same place. I'm always gonna be anchoring in different places, folding different way each time I go. And that's just to distribute the pressure so that you don't get a tourniquet effect. You're gonna spend this whole first bandage going through the thumb, folding, and then anchoring. Each time a different way. All right, when I'm done with this first bandage, I'll just take a nice piece of tape. Now I'm going to start with my next size, which for me is the 8-inch, but of course you do what works for your clients. You might want to use a 4-inch, you might want to use another 6-inch. Last time I started going towards the thumb, so this time I'm going to start going towards the ulnar side of the hand. I'm going to go a little bit up just to anchor it in a different spot. This time I'm going to go around. Then I'm going to create a pleat by pinching it with my fingers. We're going to go all the way across the MCPs, which is those lymphatic lakes, and those lymphatic lakes tend to get pretty swollen on people. So I'm going to create 2 pleats, anchor again around the wrist. This is my second pleat. I actually don't like the way that pleat looks, so I'm going to just make it a little cleaner. All right, go back around. And this time, I'm going to come and I'm going to cover my pleats as much as possible. You will still have some right there. And I'm going to start going up with a spiral. While I'm on the hand, I'm going to cover about 75% each time I go around, 75% of the bandage each time I go around. Your bandage should be pretty taut, but it should not be creating pain. You shouldn't be yanking it so that it's super, super tight. All right, so you're gonna feel right there, feel where it's soft. So this right here is where it starts to give way. It's soft, so this is where I'm gonna start next. Okay, so last time I went to the ulnar side of the hand. I started my bandage to the ulnar side. So again, this time I'm gonna start to the radial side. Today we're just doing spirals up the arm. We're keeping it pretty simple, but there's lots of different ways that you can wrap. If you create a herringbone pattern, that'll give a little bit more compression, but today we're just keeping it pretty simple. As I move up the arm, I'm still going about 70% coverage. You can start loosening it depending on your client, how much compression they need, to about 50% coverage. But right now we're still covering each time about 75%. When you go over the elbow, you want to go in a figure 8 pattern the first time you do it. That just allows a little bit more movement and it's more comfortable for the elbow that way. So I'm going to put one more bandage on there because I want to make sure that we go all the way up, and I want her to have another layer of compression. I'm going to go ahead and fold this over for the end. Some people like to, at the end, fold that over the bandage, but I'm going to tuck it in almost creating a cast-like effect. All right, and we're gonna feel. So this is where it's soft. We're gonna start right there. So last time we went to the thumb, this time we're gonna go to the ulnar side. Just gonna finish off. You always make sure you come and catch that corner of the bandage that you're starting. And go all the way up. This time I'm just gonna be covering about 50% coverage. And I actually don't like, see how that's out a little bit? I don't like that, so I'm gonna cover it with the bandage. There we go. Now we already did our figure 8 around the elbow, so the second bandage, you don't have to worry about doing that. Just go all the way up in a spiral. You want to make sure you get nice and in that armpit. I have a little wrinkle right here, so I'm going to make sure I straighten that out. And then put some nice tape on there.